Illinoisans have cast their ballot this election since September, but local Democrats and Republicans call the next few days the most important. WIFR's Nathaniel Langley meets those going door to door to try to win every vote.
People like to be asked to have their vote from any candidate.
That even includes people from across state lines, as Rock County Democrats welcome help from their neighbors to the south.
People from Illinois who may be in a safe blue seat, they're really doing something to help us get Wisconsin over the hump.
Wendy Schneider is one of those volunteers who traveled from Winnebago. She'll hit more than 100 homes in a single day.
I did it in 2004 when John Kerry ran. They called them Kerry Travelers, but this year I'm doing it for Kamala 20 years later.
Some Republicans argue support like Schneider's is possible due to a sizable cash difference between Illinois state parties.
Yes, you can send resources other places, but you better have your pulse on the races in your own backyard, because if you don't, that's where we'll pick up.
Even in the digital age, those out knocking say there's a personal connection made, worth more than any online ad.
I was able to talk to people who were confused, who didn't understand what to think, who to vote for.
Besides letters and media appearances, Rep. Cabello believes door knocking is the cherry on top for campaigns.
If you can get to the 3 points of contact, especially that personal meeting face-to-face, you're probably going to get their vote.
In the state line, Nathaniel Langley, WIFR News.
With about 48 hours left this election, local political parties still accept volunteers in Illinois and Wisconsin. You can find how by calling your county-level Democratic or Republican party.